started in 2001. I'd gone back to work, and my relationship with my husband, he had an affair, and it got to be, physical with me, physical abuse, and it got to the point where I renounced God. I said, I basically told him, I hate you, I don't want anything to do with you, go away, and my door is closed, and it's never opening to you ever again. And so I dove into my work for 10 years, from 2001 to 2011. And I worked and worked and worked. And I'm the corporate girl, going up the ladder, and I worked. God had been tapping me on my shoulder to get my attention. And I just brushed him off, always brushed him off. It's like, go away, I don't want you. And until 2001 to get my attention, he used my most precious possession as my son. And I found out that after he got out of service, he'd got in an accident, and he was prescribed Oxycontin, and that turned to a heroin addiction. And that brought me almost to my knees. Not quite yet. I still had lots of control. I had to fix this, and the harder I worked at trying to fixing my son, the worse it got. The sicker he got, the sicker I got, until the point where my body was just totally done. I was done. There was nothing left in me, and I was in a really, really, really dark spot. I was depressed. I was exhausted. I was sick, and my will to live was done. And so I remember walking up the stairs to my bedroom in a daze, and reaching into my husband's bureau and grabbing a handgun and kneeling on the middle of my bedroom floor and putting in a cold steel to my temple. And I was ready to pull the trigger. I wouldn't have felt it. I was gone. I was done. And an audible voice, I'll never forget it. I just heard a voice in my room saying, "Darci, put the gun down. I love you, and your time has not come yet. I have big plans for you." And I'm looking around like, who's in the room with me? And then all of a sudden I realized who it was, and that was it. I put it down, and I sobbed for what seemed like for hours and hours. And sobbed. All these toxins of satanic toxins coming out, because Satan almost won. And then I knew I had to do one more thing. I got back up on my knees, and I lifted my son up to God and says, I give my son back to you, because he's not mine to keep. And then I felt a huge peace. A huge, huge peace. Huge. He told me how to work on me and my heart, and he'd take care of Ben. My heart was full of anger and bitterness, and probably towards my husband, and I was alone, and it was a really bad place to be. But it was a year ago when I was very convicted about the Sabbath, and I'd gone and asked my manager if I could have Sabbath off, and she scoffed at me, and she says, "No, absolutely not. You can't have it off." And I knew she would say no, so then I had to rock the plank and say, "All right, Lord, I total trust in you," and I quit my job. I started coming here about a year ago in 2 months, September. Everybody just accepted me, and I made an appointment with the pastor and walked in to talk to him about just life experiences, and he says, "I've been waiting 5 years for you to walk through my door." I went to a recovery coach class because I believe in recovery is the broken link in this war of treatment. So that's where I've been focusing, because that's where my son fell. He was worse after treatment than he was before. So the recovery part is really near and dear to my heart. And so I talked to Pastor Ofa. "Can I see us doing a class here? Can we use the fellowship hall?" And he said, "Absolutely. Whatever it takes, I will make it happen." And as soon as we put out that APB to the community, I got 30 people, which was a max, and I had 60 people signed up because the need is so great. If there's a mom or dad out there that their child is in drugs, an active addiction, I beg you, trust me, reach out. You have to reach out.